Hello, and once again, welcome to my channel. Today's episode, I want to discuss with you some narcissistic tactics that you may end up experiencing when the narcissist realizes or starts to sense that you don't love them the same way you used to, that you're not giving them the attention and the validation, that you're not engaging in their arguments, you're not being as reactive as you used to be. They're not able to push your buttons and have things escalate for them to do their gaslighting. In essence, they're not getting their narcissistic supply from you. I want to share with you now 16 tactics that the narcissist may do. They may do all of them or a few of them. Let's start by tactic 1. They may amplify the abuse. And we're talking, it could be verbal, emotional, or physical. They may be insulting you, demeaning you, or any kind of physical violation. Tactic number 2, the rage will escalate. And by that, we're talking the screaming that they're doing at you regularly, the picking of the fights, blaming you for anything that goes wrong, bullying you, and intimidating you. Tactic number 3, attempting to seduce you. And this can go for both male and female. They may dress or act in a certain manner that is obvious with the intention to get closer to you physically, or setting up the mood somehow, getting it romantic, preparing your favorite meal, buying you flowers, a present, whatever method they may use. Tactic number 4, they may force sex and physical affection on you. They're just gonna come and insinuate themselves into your space with total disregard, possibly also being aggressive in getting physically intimate with you. Sexual acts and gestures, no respect to your body, and perhaps grabbing some body parts, pretending to be playful. Tactic number 5, accusing you of cheating. So that's whether you've refused sex or not, they may accuse you of cheating, and obviously it's a manipulative tactic. It's simply because you are rejecting their attempts to get intimate, so they're gonna build the case that it's the only logical explanation to your refusal, and being cold is probably there is someone else in your life. Tactic number 6, they're gonna possibly live in denial. And by that I mean, they may just act so normal and pretend that nothing is going on, not accepting the reality that you're growing apart and that things are actually being different in your relationship. They may continue to live in their fantasy world, hoping that things will just suddenly go back to the normal. Or maybe they think one of their tactics will get you hooked back into them because they've used it before and it always worked. So they're going to continue using the same methods they have been using already. Tactic number 7, intense love bombing. And that goes from sweet words to sweet gestures to over the top, going out of their way to do things that you like, maybe even buying you expensive things that they haven't been buying you for a while or never bought you. Maybe taking you out to fancy places, nicer restaurants, or plan a trip with you that they know you wanted. Which brings me to the next tactic, bribing you with material things, buying things for you, whether they knew you needed it or simply just buying nice things for you. I lost count at what tactic we're at now, so I'm just going to say the next tactic. The next tactic is they try to fool you by changing some of their behavior temporarily. By now, you've probably blurted out on several occasions that you don't like them doing this and that you can't stand that. They knew all along, just didn't care to change because they're not capable of changing, and because they don't see that they're doing anything wrong. The problem is with you, right? When it's time for emergency plan, they will be switching their behavior like 180 to the ones that you've been asking of, and their intention is to impress you and show you that they can change. Again, why? To get you hooked back into their web. Next tactic is that they're going to be confronting you and pressuring you to admit that you don't love them. Yeah, they're going to be looking for a confrontation to break you down and find ways to mess with your mind any way they can. So they're going to be picking on any words that you're going to be letting out and work on that back against you. Next tactic, they will blame you for the failure of the relationship. So they're pretty much going to be telling you it's because of you that this is not working out. You're not putting an effort into this relationship. You're the one ruining or destroying us. We've had whatever plans for the future and you've just ruined it all. Next tactic, they're going to project on you their mistakes and accuse you for sabotaging the relationship. That kind of goes along with what I just explained earlier. If you tell them you don't love them, they will try to convince you it's not true, that they love you. You're just confused and you need to go on a vacation together, perhaps to de-stress. They're definitely going to be using that tactic. They're going to think that getting away and having some romantic time and fun time together will just fix all the problems, because they're never going to admit that it's the foundation of your relationship together, that you're definitely not compatible, you're not on the same page, they're not who they've showed themselves to be, and that's why there's going to be problems and fights in the relationship. But they're going to try to convince you that that's not the case. It's just that there's so much stress going on around that the only solution to fix your relationship is to just get away and de-stress, and then everything will be just fine. The next tactic they're going to do is play the victim role and accuse you of being abusive towards them. So obviously, at times when you're going to lose it on them, when they're pushing your buttons, because you know that they will, and it is going to be, I don't want to say impossible, but it's going to be very difficult for you to keep your cool at all times. No matter how much you try to be prepared, you cannot anticipate your emotional state the moment they're going to be using their manipulation and gaslighting tactics. What's going to come out of their mouth? You have no idea what's going to come out. Even though you think you're prepared, but you're not. You could never be 100% prepared. And it is likely you will be reacting. Of course, I mean, if you don't react, good for you. But in most cases, it is very difficult to do so. So they're going to be playing the victim role, that you are the one abusing them. They're going to be picking on the words that you're saying to them, and they'll say, you see, you're the one abusing me. Look at what you're saying to me. Okay? So obviously, watch out the words that you say, because they're going to be using it against you. The next tactic, they're going to execute the worst smear campaign against you in preparation to discard you, painting you out to be the abuser and the one who is mentally unstable. I've discussed this in other videos before when it comes down to the discarding, when the narcissist is done with you. So in this case, you've shown them that you don't love them anymore and you're not providing with supply. So if they've tried all of the other things I've mentioned already and it didn't work, they may be coming to a point in which they're like, okay, forget it. They need to kind of like get on with a new plan. They could see that they're losing you anyway. So the best thing to do in order to save their face, because obviously their image is the most important thing in the world, they're going to prepare that smear campaign as fast as they can, as intensely as they can, while you're still in front of people together, to show you, to present you as an unstable person, so that when the relationship does break up, it will not be their fault. It will be like, see, I told you she's crazy or he's crazy. Okay. The last tactic, tactic number 16, there will be empty promises and future faking. They will be entangling you in a dream world of all the amazing things that await you if you were only to make just a little more effort and be a little more patient and forgive them a little more and give the benefit of the doubt, as if you haven't done all that already for the last 100 times. But yeah, they're going to ask you that it's in your hands to save this relationship and that they're trying everything that they can. And now it's your turn. If you really care about this relationship, and if you really meant it when you said you loved them long time ago, that you need to work at it and put in the effort and save the relationship. So that's what they're going to be doing. And that's it. These are 16 tactics that I've put together for you that the narcissist may do, may engage in. Again, maybe all, depending on the severity, depending on how much you're standing up to yourself, depending on how long the relationship is. Many factors are involved. Also, it depends on your dynamic. Are you in a dating relationship or are you married? Are you living together or are you living separate? All these things make a difference in the tactics that the narcissist will use. But make no mistake, they will be using every single tactic they possibly can in order to get you to change your mind and not leave, especially if they weren't done with you yet. If you're perhaps the only supply in their life right now. And again, I've mentioned this in other videos, that the narcissist has to have supply at all times because they feed off of that in order for them to survive. Otherwise, they're lost. They're truly miserable on their own. They need to feed off a supply, any supply. On that note, there's something that I've found online and I want to read it to you. Please bear with me here. This is from a doctor who's in psychology, Zina. She describes very well, and I don't think I can put it in those perfect words, no matter how much I tried, as to how will the narcissist be reacting when you stop engaging. I know my topic today was about if the narcissist realizes or senses that you don't love them anymore, but not engaging and not reacting to the narcissist's abusive tactics also kind of goes hand in hand. So please let me read this to you because it's some really good points. And it confirms that there's other people that are saying this too, not just me. So don't take just my word for it. What does Zina say? Zina says, when you stop reacting to a narcissist, it can be both liberating and challenging. On the one hand, you'll no longer be engaging in unhealthy behavior that puts your mental health at risk. However, it also requires a significant amount of self-control and psychological insight to do so successfully. When you stop reacting to a narcissist's behavior or words, you take back control over yourself and your life. From this place of power, you're able to set clear boundaries with the individual, which enables respect between the two of you. Additionally, disengaging from their games allows them less opportunities for manipulative tactics such as gaslighting, which only works when someone actively participates in it by responding emotionally and defensively emotionally instead of calmly and objectively. Furthermore, not giving into their bait removes toxic dynamics such as approval seeking or jealous rages that can occur when they feel ignored or challenged by people who don't bend to their will easily enough. If all else fails, then walking away is another option if the relationship is too toxic for positive growth or change even after setting boundaries firmly in place. Additionally, stopping reaction will often result in them getting bored by lack of attention paid to their antics and modify themselves accordingly. or seek out someone else who meets their narcissistic desires more readily than before, leaving us with our sanity intact. Again, this was written by Zina, and she's a doctor at psychology. Hopefully, me sharing with you what Zina writes here also put things in perspective, and you've heard from someone else other than me talk about this subject. But until next time, where I share with you more about the narcissistic dynamic, how to deal with your narcissist, and how to heal from the narcissistic relationship, please do take care of yourself. Ciao, ciao.
I hope you liked this video. Please do hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram and on Facebook. Thank you for watching.